From the national newsroom of the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White. The mayor of a northeast British Columbia municipality where thousands have already evacuated says his community is bracing for high winds to push a nearby wildfire directly toward the town. Northern Rockies Regional Municipality Mayor Rob Fraser says there are about 37 households in Fort Nelson, BC, and another 28 nearby which have not heeded an order to evacuate. Fraser says crews are doing everything they can to prevent the Parker Lake wildfire from moving into Fort Nelson if westerly winds pick up.
Just pray that the winds don't come from the west, or maybe they go northwest, which will help to blow it south of the community, and that would really help us. But we're as ready as we can be with the assistance from the province to make a last stand.
The wildfire threatening Fort Nelson is just one of several out-of-control blazes across Western Canada. Fires are also burning near Fort McMurray and Grand Prairie in Alberta, as well as in Flin Flon, Manitoba. Ontario's police watchdog is investigating the fatal police shooting of a man in Sault Ste. Marie. The Special Investigations Unit says police were responding to a disturbance at a convenience store Saturday night when they say they found a handgun on a 37-year-old man. Police say the man was shot by an officer after an unspecified interaction. The man died in hospital. His name has not been released. The United Nations says hundreds of thousands of Palestinians are fleeing Rafah as Israeli forces push deeper into that southern Gaza city. UNICEF spokesperson Tess Ingram says conditions in the south are unbearable for Palestinian civilians.
It's absolutely catastrophic. It's unlike anything I've seen, and a colleague who has been working in humanitarian emergencies at UNICEF for the best part of 30 years said it's the worst he has ever seen.
Ingram spoke on ABC's This Week. Meanwhile, Israel is honoring the thousands of soldiers and victims of terror who've lost their lives during the country's 76-year history.
Israel marking Memorial Day in the shadow of the Gaza war. Over 400 soldiers killed on a single day on October 7th when Hamas blew through the border, hunting down soldiers and civilians. More than 200 other soldiers killed fighting in Gaza. This year, along with grief, some Israelis outraged and irate over the state's failure on so many levels to protect their loved ones. Accountability still delayed by war. Jordana Miller, ABC News, Jerusalem.
In Nigeria, fashion and traditional dances were on full display as Prince Harry and his wife Meghan arrived in Lagos. The couple were invited to the West African nation by its military. Prince Harry and Meghan are on a 3-day visit to Nigeria promoting mental health for soldiers and empowering young people. Their itinerary has included acrobatic performances, visiting a charity, and attending a fundraiser for Nigeria's wounded soldiers. This is the Canadian Press. In sports, Connor Bedard scored 2 goals and had 1 assist in leading Canada to a 5-1 win over Denmark today at the World Hockey Championship in Prague. The Canadians will next face Austria on Tuesday. The Edmonton Oilers are eyeing a second straight win tonight in Game 3 of their best-of-7 second-round series against the Vancouver Canucks. Meanwhile, the Florida Panthers have their sights on a 3-1 series lead over the Bruins when they meet tonight in Boston. The Calgary Stampeders open training camp with 6 quarterbacks, including last year's starter Jake Maier, battling to lock down jobs. Stampeders head coach and GM Dave Dickinson says heated competition for jobs makes for a stronger team.
There's probably 2-3 guys that possibly are locked down for sure. Other than that, we want to make sure everyone's here getting better.
Calgary finished 6-12 last season and lost to the BC Lions in the West Division semifinal. From the Canadian Press, I'm Jason White.
Thanks for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe. For more of today's top stories, visit thecanadianpressnews.ca.